And as always, we certainly make every effort to try to give you as much value for your time invested on this call, and that's certainly going to be the case tonight as well. So one last time, if you are just jumping on the line and haven't had a chance to say hi, give us your name, of course, and where are you calling from?
Joy, hi, we're in Alabama.
Hey, Joyce, welcome.
Started.
Michelle Rogalski from North Carolina.
Conference recording started.
Welcome on, Michelle. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Joe Shockley, Muncie, Indiana.
Hey, Joe, welcome on.
Thank you, Ken.
All right, folks. Well, we've got a lot of people jumping in, all those dings and beeps you hear, more and more people joining in on this call. I definitely want to get the call started here. We are running about a minute behind, so let me get things set up so we can get this information out to you. Hold on just a second.
Muted.
This conference is being recorded.
Well, hey, folks, once again, thanks for being on the line tonight. This is Ken Marsh, and I'm glad that you're here tonight. You know, this is a call we do each and every week, and it's really designed with the idea of helping you get educated, to learn more and grow more in your journey in your personal health. But as always, we're in anticipation that this is information that you're not just going to keep and hold to yourself and not share with anybody else, but rather information that you'll learn and utilize to help make a positive impact on other people's lives. That's always our goal. That's how we fulfill that mission of changing the health of a generation at Zuma Worldwide. And tonight, I got to tell you, it's a great call for us because we get to welcome back Christine Rose. And some of you have had the opportunity to be on some of our previous calls with Christine. I know that usually when she's doing a call for us, we get some emails or we get some messages on our Facebook page saying, hey, when is Christine coming back? And for those of you who don't know or might be new to Zuma Worldwide, Christine Rose is a part of our Zuma family, but she's certainly a health and wellness industry supporter and expert in her own right. In fact, she is somebody who works directly with Crystal Anderson, the SWAT Institute. Many of you have had exposure to Crystal or been on some of her calls. You may have even heard Christine on some of the Crystal Anderson SWAT Institute calls. But she's also somebody who's spent a lot of time in her life thus far, especially recently, pursuing answers and solutions for better lifestyle, healthier living, in fact. And she is also the owner of a business entitled Living Better. And we're proud that she's not only become a member of Zuma Worldwide, but she's incorporating Zuma Worldwide products into her Living Better business and helping educate more people on how to live a more abundant lifestyle in their health. And certainly glad that she's on the call with us tonight. Again, back by popular demand. Christine, are you out there?
I am, Ken, and thank you so much for the wonderfully warm welcome. I'm really excited and happy to be back and glad that people are asking for me to come back, and I can't be more thrilled about that, Ken. Thank you so much.
Well, it's great to have you here. No problem. And, you know, this is, like we talked about, this is a health education call, and this is one of those calls where we give people an opportunity to really start to expand and, you know, get more in-depth into what their health is all about. And I know that you've got some good topic material lined up for tonight. And so I don't want to take any more time with introductions. I want to let you get as much time as possible to get into your main topics tonight. I'm going to hang back here. I might jump in with a few thoughts or comments along the way, but I'm going to jump back and let you take the lead.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Ken. I wanted to start by I want to make it clear that the opinions that are going to be expressed here are my own and that I'm speaking from my own perspective and interpretation. And so I want to welcome everybody and thank you all for joining the call. I hope you'll open your mind and think about some new ideas and that you can appreciate some of the perspectives I'm going to share here today from my own life and also from other people's stories of their lives as well. Just one quick second here. Uh-oh, there's the wake-up call. I heard an alarm go off. Did you hear that, Ken?
I did. I guess that was your wake-up call.
It certainly was. My kids say, wakey, wakey, lemon shaky. And when we get up in the morning, they No Mommy likes to start the day with lemon water, and I do some exercise, and then I have a breakfast shake. So one of our themes that we say around here in the morning is wakey, wakey, lemon shakey, and I just wanted to share that with everybody. This really is a bit of a wake-up call, and I'm going to talk about some things that might be new information for people, or things that might be a little bit off-center from what we've heard before. So I hope that everybody can take some things from this conversation. That you were very correct in saying maybe a pen and paper would be a good idea. And I just want to share a couple of things. I don't know if Anthony Atkins is on the line, but he put up a post this morning on Facebook that had to do with how we wake up in the morning. And I immediately saw it and commented on it because it's one of my big deals is attitude and gratitude, and how we get up in the morning has such an effect on our lives. It actually sets the tone for the day. And so I make a point of waking up hopeful and joyous and happy to be able to connect with like-minded people and to learn new things and to help people with their health and to spend time with the animals in the small farm that I have in my yard, and to pick fresh produce from my garden. And I like to get out there first thing in the morning and stick my toes in the grass or the earth and get reconnected very quickly in the morning to the fact that we're alive, and we should be very grateful for this life and take care of our bodies, minds, and spirits and the vessel that we have that's got to carry us through this lifetime. So I think that's one really important point, and it's a grounding point. It can get you very grounded and centered and really help to start the day off connected to yourself and who you really are. So one of the first things I do is go outside and feed my pigs and my chickens, and I look up at the sky and take some deep breaths of gratitude for another day of life and another chance to get it right and to have a perfect day. Every day I try to have a perfect day, and some days I get really, really close to that, and some days they feel like they're too good to be true. So I know that attitude really can help people, and I wanted to share that. But here's the truth for many people. Many people wake up tired. They stress as soon as they open their eyes about being somewhere on time, or about having to get ready, or about not having enough money, or about workplace politics, or maybe about losing their job or finding a job, about their health, about their retirement. And these are also the same things that many people think about before they go to bed at night too. A shocking new study out, and it was referenced in Natural News recently, that nearly 9 million Americans now take pharmaceutical drugs just to sleep at night. And this is from Natural News, an increasing number of Americans are having trouble falling asleep at night and staying that way, says a new government report on sleeping pill use. According to the data compiled by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, roughly 9 million Americans now pop pharmaceutical sleeping drugs like Ambien and Lunesta on a regular basis just to get some normal shut-eye, a disturbing trend that appears to be ever escalating. It was discovered that about 4% of U.S. adults aged 20 or older, which tabulates to about 8.6 million people, had used prescription sleep aids within the past month, and additionally, a shocking 1 in 6 adults with a diagnosed sleep disorder and 1 in 8 adults with reported sleeping troubles admitted to using prescription sleep aids. So as far as the demographic group with the highest reported use, and this is really important, the highest reported use were older, non-Hispanic white female adults with an education. These are the people most prone to using sleeping pills. So I question this, and I think this finding is incredible because you have to ask the questions. I'm a questions person. I question a lot of things. So one of the questions I have about the study is, could this be because women are doing so much and wearing so many hats that they can't seem to shut it off at night, can't get their bodies to relax, and so are turning to some of these sleeping aids to help them? And another interesting thing about the same study, younger people are also becoming addicts. A 2008 marketing and research study conducted by Thomson Reuters found that between the years of 1998 and 2006, sleeping pill use among young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 tripled. Can you imagine 18 to 24 years old having to take sleeping pills? And this is based on data from the Centers for Disease Control. Sleeping pill use within this demographic is expected to continue increasing. So my question here is, are young people feeling depressed and disillusioned about life and about the opportunities that they have before them? Are they having trouble sleeping at night due to worry and stress as well at such a young age? Wow. And maybe it has something to do with the huge debt that students face with student loans and the lack of job prospects. I mean, these are questions that need to be considered when we're thinking about handing over the control of businesses and corporations and so on to people who, are coming up through the world looking for jobs, looking for employment, and who are already feeling stressed and disillusioned and having to be medicated. So we've got to start rethinking some of the ways that we're doing business and the ways that we're adding stress to our lives. And the reason why this problem is so problematic is that sleeping pills are not safe and they can actually kill you. Ambien users, for instance, commonly report erratic behavior, amnesia, and even like sleep driving or dangerous activities. A study in 2012 in the British Medical Journal found that people who take prescription sleeping pills regularly are nearly 5 times more likely to die within 2.5 years compared to people who do not take the drugs. And a 60-year-old manager of a legal firm told NBC News about the effects of Ambien CR on her mental acuity. She reportedly suffered a panic-like attack while driving after taking Ambien CR, which made her believe she was driving at a dangerously high speed, and she felt like she had no control. So this is the world that we're living in right now. People are going Mach 400, high speed, and using medications to help them cope. So if you suffer from abnormal or lack of sleep, try getting more exercise and exerting yourself at least a couple of times a day physically, whether by running or going to the gym or roughhousing with your kids or doing chores. Cleaning is a great way to get some exercise and move your body, get crouching down and reaching up and, all of that. And if it's not enough to just get some exercise, there are other natural ways that you can help promote restful sleep at night, like supplementation. There are some great herbs like valerian root and melatonin that people use, as well as sleep therapy protocols like doing mind relaxation techniques or keeping a sleep log. And Zuma has some natural product called X2OPM, which I love, and I take it not only to help with sleeping, but because I have an underactive thyroid, and getting the proper relaxation at night is so important. Being able to shut down the mind and the body naturally is so important. And X2OPM is an evening mineral complex. It has soil-based organisms in it which support the digestive tract, and a lot of people's the reason why they're up at night is oftentimes attributed to acid reflux or upset tummy and stress, and it keeps people up at night. Or they're feeling stressed, so they have a big meal before they go to bed, and that can keep them up as well. And also in the X2OPM, it's got a lot of calcium and magnesium in it and other trace minerals that support cellular relaxation and thereby give the body a restful sleep, so you're getting a good quality sleep at night. Another great tip about getting quality sleep at night is to have a very dark environment, a dark room, no light source, because then you can get into that deep, relaxing sleep where you're starting to produce melatonin naturally on your own, and you're starting to produce the human growth hormone, which helps to repair and revitalize the body while you're sleeping at night. So important to not have any light in your room so that your pineal gland can start to produce the melatonin required to get a deep, relaxing sleep. Another quick tip about sleeping: cell phones. Cell phones in the bedroom need to go, especially if you're keeping them under your pillow. Like a lot of people seem to be keeping their cell phones really handy. and it's not healthy because of the radiation from the cell phone, which can affect our frequency. We are energy beings, and our bodies are made up of energy that, we have serious responses to different frequencies that we're surrounded by, one of which is the cell phone electromagnetic smog that from all the towers and everything. So why would you have your cell phone next to your head when you're sleeping at night and having that frequency bombarding your brain all night? It's bad enough we do it all day. Why am I qualified to give this talk? Here's a little personal history about, when I thought of coming on this call, and I've been doing a lot of walking the last few days and thinking about, my own personal situation with having a passion around helping people understand distraction and understand how we can get our minds cluttered and all the different things that we're dealing with in our lives. And so I wanted to share this personal story, and it'll give you a little bit of perspective about how I see things and where I'm coming from. 20 years ago, I embarked on a corporate career in the telecommunications industry. And I know I sound young. Everybody's going, whoa. I'm actually 41 years old. I have a young sounding voice. 20 years ago, I embarked on a corporate career in the telecommunications industry, and I worked there for 8 years. I climbed the corporate ladder. It was very much a man's world at the time, and I found it thrilling as a young woman to learn and grow. And I made it to a management position with my own team of people in charge of a department. I broke my personal barriers around feeling intimidated and shy and soft-spoken, and I was making really good money too. But the last few years that I was there, I felt like I saw mostly the same people every day. And it was dark when I went in the morning, and it was dark when I left work because of the long hours that I was putting in. My butt was sore from sitting at my desk all day. I felt like I was living in a glass building because I really was. My whole life seemed to be encapsulated in these big, tall glass walls. And, it was fun for a while, and it was very challenging. But by and large, I felt a little bit like I wasn't really living, and I had every gadget strapped to me, phones, pagers. They went off day and night, weekends too. But the money was good. I was flying all over Canada, building those cell phone stores that you see in all the malls today. And the people in the project I was working on that were building those stores had been handpicked for their roles on the build team. We were taken out of our departments and put on a special team to build 130 stores across Canada in 10 months. We did. We did it on time. We did it on budget. And then the tech stocks crashed 14 years ago. And the whole team that I was a part of got laid off, and we were not put back into our roles that we'd had before the stock meltdown. Instead, we were laid off. The people on the team were also management level salaries, and someone had been doing our jobs while we were on the special team working on the project. So this was a hard lesson for me. I had just gotten married in October. I had paid for my wedding and honeymoon, and the layoff was just, after Christmas. So I spent 8 years working my way up through a company. I was not in love with my job, although I had been, but I'd been feeling like I was working to live, working for the paycheck. I figured I'd find something else. I was young. It wasn't going to be a huge loss for me, and I recognized that. But my boss, who'd been near retirement and had worked for over 20 years in the company, he lived and breathed that company. It was a personal passion for him. And he got laid off, and he took his own life. And this was a real wake-up call for me. This was the beginning of a series of wake-up calls for me. I made some moves. I moved to Peterborough, where I live now. I started my own business in something where I could meet people and be outdoors and move my body. I was in charge of my financial future, too. I started my own company. So this was the gift for me. This was the lesson. This was the wake-up call that I got from that experience. And the awakening continued when I watched the movie called Home, H-O-M-E. It's about the planet Earth. And it was a big wake-up call for me. I think I actually got depressed for a couple of days after I watched that movie. It's one of those ones that just hits you right in the center of your being. And then I watched some other movies like The End of Suburbia, which is about peak oil and the future of where we're going with that. I had some real shifts, and I became almost obsessed with learning about what is really going on in our environment, with banking, with the food industry, with pollution, with the toxic environment, with metaphysics, so understanding that we are energy beings, that what we put in our bodies matters energetically. I started to research food, and I started to look at fluoride in the water and how these modified and processed chemical-laden foods are foreign to my body, and that the tap water contained neurotoxins which affected my pineal gland and further disconnected me from my full human potential. So I developed a thyroid problem, so I was tracing that and figuring out how that happened, and that's where I got in touch with the fluoride. And anyway, it was not long until I started living better with my partner, Brad, and we decided that we were going to go after the answers about life, about health, about the environment, and about living better lives. And you can find out more about Living Better on the Facebook page by typing in Living Better Me, or by going to the website, which is www.livingbetter.me. We have all sorts of great health and wellness information, and a community, and this is important, a community of well-informed people on the Facebook page. We also have a YouTube channel where you can find the documentaries that I mentioned earlier and a whole lot more. Part of living better has to do with the mind, with cleaning up our minds and the programming we've learned over time, and the lessons, what we're taught by our parents, what we're taught by our personal experiences, what we're taught about self-limitation, what we're taught about being productive, what it means to be a woman, all of these things that we're taught as we're coming up through the world. Or maybe we lacked a lot of things, so we learned about lack. Maybe we had parents that were very much fear-based parents and taught us that the world is an abundant place, or that you have to work hard to make money, that money doesn't grow on trees, all of these kind of mind things. So part of living better was about mind, body, and spirit. It all had to be there. And this is when I started coming up with the SWOT Institute, and I started to learn about Crystal Andrus, and I started to investigate, being a part of what's going on in that whole mind, body, spirit world. And I fell in love with the program at the SWOT Institute, the Simply Woman Accredited Trainer Program. It's a program that helps women connect with who they really are and become the most empowered versions of themselves. And so now I speak to hundreds of women about their thoughts and feelings and goals and dreams and their limitations. So I have a pretty good idea between Living Better and the SWOT Institute about what's on people's minds and how they feel and what they think about. So Living Better is about less distraction and more action. It's about getting reconnected. It's about solutions that are affordable and that everyone can do. And this is where Zuma products come in and why we endorse Zuma products at Living Better. All of life is about perspective, and the key to living a great life is clarity. And I found that Zuma products really give people the opportunity to use affordable solutions that will help them to maintain their vessel, to maintain that clarity, that connection to who they really are, to get rid of some of the distractions. And we get distracted by pollutants in our body. We get distracted because of heavy metals that are accumulating in our blood and in our brain and in our, just within the system. So we need to have solutions that are affordable that anybody can do to help to clean up the environment so that we can get connected to who we really are, reconnected, and to be living fully active and fully healthy lives. And so this is how we got involved with Zuma. And I'm just going to give you an example about perspective and about okay, so I used to love grocery shopping. I used to love it. I probably did too much of it. And now I don't like it at all. In fact, I rarely go. Brad often goes to the grocery store, and I'll go to the farmer's market or a few little stores, local shops and things, but I really do not like the shopping mall. And because I'm a person that I try my hardest to live in integrity, and I try to watch where I vote with my dollars. I watch where I spend my money. I don't want to endorse or promote something that I don't believe in, period. And so the grocery store is not a place where I like to go anymore. And it's because I get it. I've woken up to what's in the food or what's in the food-like products and what's not in them. They're missing minerals. They're missing nutrients. They've got all these additives in them and chemicals and fake sugars and high fructose corn syrup that's loaded with GMOs and all these ways that we get further disconnected, distracted from our reality. We're living in a 5-sense reality that is just what we can smell and touch and taste and feel, but we're not connected to our higher being, to our full potential. And that's really on purpose. That's really on purpose. We're disconnected by all the junk that's clogging our system. And some of it has to do with what we're eating and what we're breathing and so on. But the other part of that is that we get distracted by the media. We get distracted by the internet. We get distracted by what's going on in politics. We get distracted by our finances. We get distracted by the rat race. And it's sad, but this is the reality that we're living in. And so here's what we need to do. We need to ask questions. We have to become our own health advocates. We can't trust that, the food that we're eating is good for us. We can't trust that the health industry and that the governments have our back. We really can't. I think that's apparent to everybody. You have to be living under a rock somewhere not to get that these days. So because I get it and I've woken up to what's going on, I ask a lot of questions and I follow the answers. I always ask, who benefits from this thing that I'm looking at? Who benefits from this product, or who benefits from this food, or who benefits from fracking, or who benefits from it doesn't matter what it is, just always ask the question, who benefits. And so it's kind of like a formula, and then the formula, I call it problem, action, solution. So I'll give you an example. Here's a problem. I want my kids to cleanse their bodies of pollution and heavy metals. That's my problem. I'm thinking, how do I get my kids to cleanse their bodies of pollution and heavy metals? And so the action is, I know if they'll eat superfood like algae or spirulina or chlorella, that heavy metals can be removed from their little bodies. But I also know that they don't want to eat algae and they don't like the taste of it. So I come up with a solution. The solution is that I make yummy zucchini muffins, and I add a scoop of the green spirulina to the muffin mix, and they think it's cool because, hey, green muffins, right? Problem, action, solution. And this is how everything works. This is how marketing works. This is how governments work. This is how corporations work. This is how any organization works on this scenario or this formula, which I refer to as problem, action, solution. And this is why it's easy, if you think about it in that way, it's easy to take back your power, to ask the questions, to follow the trail, to find out who benefits. Okay? I'm really trying to help people here. How do you feel about that, Ken?
I'm sorry, I was muted. I think you're spot on. I always I think what you're saying is just a slightly different version of what I usually say. I always say follow the money.
Yeah.
I had a great conversation with one of our Zuma leaders tonight on my way up the road from the office, and we were talking about some of the things that drive our healthcare industry. And oftentimes when you start to peel back the layers of the onion, you realize that often what's driving the healthcare industry is dollars and profits. And there's a very famous saying that many people have heard, but it's certainly worth repeating, there's certainly a lot more profit in caring for disease than there is in prevention. But what I love about the time and place that we're in, and I think you would agree with this, Christine, is the fact that we're in a very changing world, and there's a lot of positive change when it comes to health and wellness. And what I see probably more now than ever before in my history of my 20-plus years in the health and wellness industry is more and more people looking for better answers, looking for preventative measures, looking for a way to, better care for themselves, kind of taking a journey, maybe not quite as extensive as you've taken, but starting a journey or taking a little bit of a journey into, hey, why is this way? Or why, is this, healthcare, system not producing the kind of results it should? And, why is that food loaded with some of that stuff that, I don't think is good or healthy for me and my family? And so I think the good news is we're in this time frame where this awareness is coming about. People are looking for better answers, and that's, again, one of the reasons I think why you're so good at what you do is because you're helping provide better answers for people.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree with you more. In fact, I was thinking that same thing. I was on my walk today. Every day I walk down a beautiful trail, lovely at this time of year, absolutely gorgeous. And the last few days I've done the walk at like lunchtime or around midday, and usually I do it at sunset, but I like to change it up and get a different perspective. And what I've noticed in the daytime walks the last 3 days is that there's a lot more people out than I've ever noticed before. Elderly people riding bikes, people just trying to get out and move their bodies and getting around. And I've noticed, because I've been doing this walk for a long time, sometimes I go and I might see 2 or 3 people on the walk. Today I must have seen 50 people on that same brief, 45-minute walk that I did. And so I've noticed the shift. And you're right, I've been doing Living Better now for going on 10 years. And when I first started to talk about this type of stuff in the industry and the fluoride and so on, people thought I was off my rocker. And that now there's, you can't even go on the internet or Facebook without seeing, 50 different companies similar to mine in half an hour. So, there's a huge shift. People are waking up. People are getting the information and starting to question things. And you're absolutely right. I agree that we're on the shift right now, and it's a time because people need to take action now before we get, sicker or before it's too late. And so let's talk about distraction for a minute. So what is distraction? Distraction is like a state of mental distress or derangement, or sometimes distraction can be a person or thing that prevents concentration. It can be something that amuses. Some people go and deliberately try to get distracted, watch a movie or something to take them out of their zone of operation, away from their work, away from their family, away from their lives, to get into something else. Distraction can be mental turmoil, confused behavior, disarray, muddiness. It can be a mental state characterized by a lack of clear or orderly thought and behavior. And distraction can happen because people are just going at full tilt. So some of the things people say to me, common themes that I've heard every day, is that things are moving too fast. Where does the time go? I have no me time. Before I knew it, it was time to pick up the kids. I can't shut off my mind. My brain's on constant chattering. I'm always being interrupted. So people are feeling that things are moving very fast. And so there's a movie called The Matrix, and in the movie, Morpheus says, "Were you listening to me, Neo, or were you looking at the woman in the red dress?" And so it's kind of like, there's always this sort of distraction going on, and I don't know if you're familiar with that movie, Ken, but it's a really interesting movie. I encourage people to watch it.
Yeah, one of my favorites. There's a lot of deep messaging in that movie if you're willing to open your mind to it.
Yeah. And so look at the news today. Look at the White House, the government shutdown. And we have to ask the question, right? Is it a distraction? shouldn't we be thinking about other things? Saying no to Monsanto, or discussing the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Strategic Economic Partnership? What about caring about Syria, or cleaning up the tar sands? There's a lot of things that we should be really probably focusing on, but everybody's worried about the government shutdown. That's all people can talk about. Look at Miley Cyrus, right? That outrageous behavior of the young Miley Cyrus, right? It distracts us and keeps us unfocused on what's really important, right? What are some things that are important? Big pharma, big agriculture, food marketers, banks and governments, all these types of corporations, they work on that problem, action, solution formula. And take a look around in the world today. Keep asking the questions. So, I ask things like, who benefits when I eat pesticide-laden fruits and vegetables? Certainly not me. So why do I buy them? Who benefits when my children want me to buy Lucky Charms, right? Who benefits when we go into another country? Who benefits when we take a loan from the bank? So we have to drill it down to the day-to-day. So how often are you distracted at work? People are distracted dozens of times every day. And so I call this, people say the distraction factor. I call distraction a weapon, really. It's a weapon against our against our bodies. And so I like to say weapons of mass distraction, right? Because it takes us out of ourself. It makes us live sort of like from the head up, and disconnects us from our bodies. There's lots of ways that we get distracted, like email, right? People do this texting. We can be distracted from disorganization in our lives, the instant messaging, right? Internet, just being overwhelmed, having too much to do, kids and jobs and lunches and dinners and, important meetings. And, so the thing to do is prioritize the to-do list, track out the day, delegate jobs. Definitely tiredness, being tired can be distracting. Not having adequate nutrition, not moving your body enough and getting the endorphins flowing. So getting enough sleep is important. Staying hydrated is so important. When we don't drink enough water and we become dehydrated, we don't think clearly, and dehydration can make us feel tired and less alert. So it's important to always have a water bottle with you on your desk. Drink all the time, all day long. I give them to my kids. And it's so important. The quality of the water that we're drinking is very, very important. People who are drinking tap water are, they run the risk of getting sick from all the chemicals that could be in that tap water, the medications, the fluoride, the chlorine, and so on. And that's one of the things I love about Zuma. We have this wonderful product called Extreme X2O. It's a little sachet. You put it in your water. It contains 70 trace minerals, active enzymes, ionic minerals, and it delivers oxygen-rich, mineral-rich nutrients to your body directly into the bloodstream, bypassing the digestive system. So immediately your body is infused with minerals that it's lacking from the foods in your environment, and it helps you to become more alkaline. And when your body becomes more alkaline and comes into balance, what happens is your body has a natural ability to cleanse itself. And when it's receiving this oxygen and minerals, we can increase our health to the point where we're what we call homeostasis, or in balance. The dehydration leaves, we're feeling relaxed, we're feeling like our cells are getting the nutrients and minerals that they need, so that we can then be able to cleanse our bodies and feel more at ease. And this is so important. Being hydrated will help to increase your awareness, will help you, make you more alert, increase our ability to, have immunity from viruses and disease, from sickness. So it's so important that we make good decisions about what we're putting in our body in terms of the water. Wouldn't you agree, Ken?
I would, and again, I apologize. I was sitting here muted. I'm trying not to interrupt your call. But no, I agree. And again, what you're getting at is these solutions that we're talking about. And, I love being aware. And one of the things that I think, unfortunately, they say that you deal with this expression that ignorance is bliss. I don't buy that. I think being aware and understanding, more about what's going on in the world and more about, what you need to do to protect yourself, family, and your health is important. But knowing is great, but then what do you do? It's that action step. It's what do we do to now take this knowledge and this awareness and give ourselves and our family more abundance. And again, you're leading to it, of course, and talking about the Zuma products that, utilized properly can give us a lot of these health advantages. And I think about so many times when people share a testimony with us about a Zuma product, it often is combined with, let me tell you about not only how my health has improved, but how other areas of my life have improved. You were talking about distraction a moment ago, and I know that people in general, when they are unhealthy or their health is not good and they're in pain or they're in discomfort or just pure worry about their overall health condition, they're distracted. And it's a lot harder to enjoy life. It's a lot harder to focus on other important things in your life when you are distracted. And like you're pointing out as well, there's other distractions that consume our time and our energy. And it's interesting how many people allow themselves to get so distracted by certain things and they start to lose sight of or pay attention to those things that are most valuable to them, their health being one of those most important things. So I'm very much in tune with the message that you're sharing here.
Yeah, and when we get to the point where we're actually agitated and so distracted that we reach overwhelm, and by this point, usually people have, some adrenal fatigue going on, and, stress creates cortisol in the body, and then it leads to belly fat, and there's so many conditions that result from distraction and overwhelm and stress, disease and sickness that impact our lives in our productivity and our health, and the stress is what leads to the acidic environment in our body. So being distracted keeps us stuck in living in sort of the five-sense reality instead of, realizing our full human potential. So I think one of the big keys to having a healthy lifestyle and having a healthy attitude every day and having a healthy mindset is really the quality of the water, because our bodies are 70% water. It's very important that we're flushing our system with good quality water that's got oxygen and minerals in it every day. And to keep strong, to keep our immunity up, and to make sure our perception is clear, make sure that we can get some clarity on life. And another way to do that is really to take a look at our self-talk. How do we talk to ourselves? How do we go about our day? And again, going back to how you wake up in the morning really does set the tone for the day. Many people are not aware that as they perform tasks like studying or just going about their daily business, that they're actually silently talking to themselves. Self-talk can be motivating. You can be praising or feeling accomplished. Your self-talk can help you to sort out what to do next. But if it becomes overly critical, self-talk can have a negative effect on your concentration. And, if you've started a project or started to write a paper and then you get frustrated because you can't get through the first sentence, you've got an inner critic that's saying, comparing you to other people, or saying, oh, you don't have time for this, do it later, or things that distract us, the thinking that distracts us and shuts us down. A lot of times that comes from being tired, from just having too much clutter, too much stuff going on in our life. And this brings me to a great point, because we're having a 30-day Cleanse Your Life challenge that is a mind, body, spirit challenge that is starting on October the 15th. And this Cleanse Your Life challenge happens we start it the day after Canadian Thanksgiving, and it wraps up 30 days later, well before American Thanksgiving. So it's a great time of year to do a cleanse. Plus, for me personally, I like to do a cleanse at this time of year because the kids are back in school, and it's kind of like a great time to, press reset and clean up the environment in the body and the mind. throw out, any old ideas that aren't serving me and get rid of the clutter, not only in your home and in your environment, but in your body and in your mind. And the cleanse that we're doing, I encourage people to talk to whoever invited them on this call and get some more information about the cleanse. But here's some brief details. The cleansing, it has a lot of products in it, so you get set up with a lot of great products, one of which is the X2O that we've talked about a few times tonight. There's some other products in it like Focus Up, which can really help with focus, concentration, mood. It can help with cravings. And it's a great product that can just really work in synergy with the X2O to help boost the body. And so it's important to get back in touch with whoever invited you on this call and certainly get the details about all the products that are in it. But what I love about the cleanse is that it's mind, body, and spirit, and we get coaching from Crystal Andrus, who is the founder of the SWAT Institute, and she delivers every day, daily, to your email, personal empowerment coaching and coaching about getting clear in your lifestyle, getting clear in your thinking, looking at your belief systems. So it goes hand in hand with the changes that you're making in terms of, doing your exercise and following, healthier eating styles. It's got tips for grocery shopping and meal planning and really helps give you and when you say cleanse, usually people think that they're just doing a detox and they're going to be, drinking strange concoctions and really moving things through their bowels. But this is a really gentle cleanse. It's more of a life cleanse, and that's what it's called, a Cleanse Your Life Challenge. And so I encourage people to participate in that if they're feeling any of the things that we've been talking about here today. It's a chance to shake up your life, shake off lingering thoughts, doubts, fears, distractions that are holding you back. Another thing that I wanted to mention here, Ken, is Cardiozyme. Cardiozyme is an amazing product that I particularly love. I mentioned earlier about cooking the spirulina and chlorella, muffins. Well, that's what's in the Cardiozyme product is great quality spirulina and chlorella. It's a product that can help people to get rid of the heavy metals that may be in their system to help detox the body environment, but it's also great for inflammation, and inflammation is a huge problem that we have. A lot of people are feeling bloated and are feeling, they've puffy hands and feet and inflammation in the body. Inflammation goes hand in hand with being obese, with being overweight. So Cardiozyme can really help to increase the circulation. It can help to eliminate some of the toxins in the body and the heavy metals, and it can also, it's a high-quality source of protein. There's a lot of protein in spirulina and in spirulina, and chlorella. And there's a fact about that I wanted to share, actually, because it's quite an astounding amount of protein. Let me just see here. It contains 12 times the digestible protein of beef. So it's amazing. And it's a far better protein than beef because it has a healthier mineral balance, like it has a lot of magnesium in it that just isn't found in beef. So that product is amazing. It's also great for heart health. And that's a great way to clean up your body, clean up your environment. The Focus Up, let's just go back to that for a minute. Focus Up is a favorite product of many Zuma people who are involved in Zuma already, and that is because the Focus Up, people say it takes your life from black and white to high definition. And some of the ingredients in there, it's got rhodiola in it, which is a very popular ingredient right now. It's a herb, and it really helps to increase the mood and increase people's ability to focus and feel good. And this is really important if you are feeling sluggish, if you're feeling overly distracted, if you're feeling like you can't focus, you can't concentrate, you're having problems with your memory. A good thing to do is to do a cleanse like the one we're talking about. Utilize some of these products and really shift yourself into positive health, into having a mental shift that will take you to the next level of where you want to be. So does that make sense, Ken?
Sure does. And you're talking about, of course, some of our most popular selling products. These are products that, probably in our line not only sell the most, but generate the most testimonies. And there are an incredible amount of people using those for various different reasons. I mean, you're talking about just one aspect as an example of some of the benefits of Cardiozyme. And that is one of many different facets that particular product works on. Focus Up is another example. We talk about it being a beautiful energy boosting product, but there's so many nutrients in that product that also support things like memory, mood, focus, concentration, mental energy. Those are all things that people want, they need, they're looking for, and they're looking for it in a natural, safe, healthy way. And obviously those products fit the bill. One of the things that you mentioned, you're talking about the cleanse package that we put together with you and Crystal Anderson, your team. One of the things I want to mention on that is an incredible value of a package. We just made it even more attractive by adding more of the what we call pay volume to that particular package. But one of the things I love about that package is not only do you get a great value in terms of what you get for the products that come with that package, but the 30-day coaching that you were mentioning that Crystal does that's included just automatically with that package is an incredible 30-day program. I've gone through it myself, and the information there is extremely valuable. Just what people pay just to get that package of products, and they get an incredible value on that, that recorded series is worth every dime of that. So, I mean, I'd pay that just for the recorded series, not counting the products that come with it. So it is an incredible value. So I know some of the folks that might be listening in tonight have not taken advantage of that 30-day cleanse program. And like you said, it certainly goes far beyond just a detox. It's definitely a whole lot more there. I think they would be thrilled with the end result after 30 days. I know many of the people that have already done it have reported back to us how much different they felt and the kind of results they were able to generate in just 30 days. So I just wanted to reemphasize that point because I really think that is a powerful system.
Yes, and let's talk about the price point on that. There's a wealth of products in the package as well as the coaching that you talked about for just $249. That's amazing. That's an amazing cleanse package that comes with daily coaching. And this is not your average cleanse. This is mind, body, spirit, working with your personal empowerment, working with the messages, working with the clutter, the distraction, all of that to help to really shift not only your bodily health but your mental health. And that's half the game. Like I said at the beginning, perception and clarity are the keys to life, really. I think that the more clear that we can be on what it is that we want in our life and start looking at that, whatever that is, from the end, look at the end result. If you want to have a happy, healthy life, you want to be, you want to have, for an example, I know that one of these days, very soon, I'm going to own a boat. And I try to get very clear on exactly what kind of boat it is, what it's made of. Is it made of wood? How fast does it go? Does it have a fly bridge? What's the name of the boat? I even spend time every day, as I mentioned, walking down. I do this trail that goes right along the marina that's at the top of my street. So when I get my boat, it's going at the end of my street in the marina. And every day I walk by there and I see the sunset or I see the people and I listen to the music that's being played in the little restaurant that's beside the marina. And I can smell the air and feel the water and hear the lapping of the waves. And I know it's only a matter of time, very short time, until I've got my boat parked right there and I can go and enjoy that. But I'm very clear about it. I've got such clarity around exactly what it feels like, what it smells like, what it tastes like. And so this is part of the mental game. You've got to know what it is that you want, or you're not going to have a very successful time getting it into your life. And the closer that you can live in proximity to your dreams and to being healthy or to being aware or to waking up or to avoiding distraction or to having a healthy environment, the closer you can live to that, the more it's going to become your reality, the quicker it's going to become your reality. And so I encourage people who are listening now on this call to get back in touch with whoever invited you to the call, to really take stock of your situation and think about what it is that you want in your life. Get really clear about it. Ask some questions. Think about problem, action, solution. Think about some of the products that we talked about that can really help you. And as I said before, these are affordable products. Yes, you might do the cleanse. I hope everybody does this cleanse. It's a remarkable, life-changing cleanse that can really help to support and shift you. But beyond that, using the products on a continual basis, some of them I will never go without, like the X2O water. And they're affordable. And so that's another key point, is that ongoing, these are solutions that can help you to live a better life and that work very well. They're high quality. So give them a try. Get back in touch with people. Make sure, isn't it time for your health to come first?
Christine, I love that. That's the perfect way to end, I think, our call tonight. And guys, I do agree with Christine. I mean, this is definitely one of those topics where when you think about it, we are easily distracted in life with all the things that we have in today's busy society. And sometimes we forget to focus on what is probably, to many of us, one of the very most important things in our life, and that is our good health. It's a whole lot harder to enjoy life when your health is in poor shape. And for people who've been there, they understand very clearly the difference. And so for those of us on the call tonight, my hope is that the message you're getting loud and clear tonight is to stay aware, stay educated, and stay focused on your health and your well-being. It certainly makes life a lot more fun and a lot more enjoyable. And Christine, I want to thank you for your contributions tonight and for being on this call, and certainly appreciate all the things that you're doing in support of Zimmer Worldwide, both here on this call tonight and in many other areas in and around Zimmer. So thank you for all that you're doing, Christine.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Okay, folks, thanks for listening in, and certainly appreciate you being on this call. Looking forward to having you on another future call. Remember, we do these calls each and every week, every Thursday night. Look forward to having you on another one very soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Unmuted.
Thanks, Christine and Ken. Fantastic
Your
call.
conference recording has stopped.
Call me.
Great call, everybody. Wonderful call.